You know, I'm all cramped up. You ever get a gut punch? I haven't got a gut punch in a while, but I've punched some people in the gut by way of video. But I feel all cramped up in my stomach when I saw 64 million for consulting fee. That means that they'll put a white face outside the Bahamas to tell the Bahamian government what they ought to know. They ain't gonna give it to no black person in Nassau. That's too much of a private business. How can you have 64 million for white foreigners outside the Bahamas to tell the government of the Bahamas how to spend their money? And we have people in this country that is more educated than those people outside the Bahamas that they're going to give a whopping 64 million. Then you're increasing the allowance for members of parliament office. I live in Abaco. I don't know where John pinned the offices that he spent that $100,000 on the first year. I don't know where Kirk Cornish offices that he spent $100,000, but the government gonna pocket up and give them more money to put in their back pocket and their front pocket, and not a dollar for the bathroom in Greenhill Key. There's not a bathroom, public bathroom in Greenhill Key. Once you survive not going to the bathroom on the Treshkey side, when you get on the Greenhill side, you still got to hold your pee. But 64 million going overseas in somebody's private bank account to tell the Bahamian government how to spend and how to do in a country that they live in all their life. That is a punch to the gut. I'm still angry. I'm still feeling nauseous. My head is still moving because any good businessman, if the second largest port and the largest port in the family of islands, in Abaco, in Marshaba, bring in 160 to 180 million annually. Any good business one would have put, not Nassau money, that's Abaco money. Abaco brought in that 180 million. If you would put 5 million of that back, the customs will have somewhere to go to the bathroom. Immigration will have somewhere to go to the bathroom. The people that works at the port department don't have nowhere to go to the bathroom from September 1st, 2019. This is the 6th of June, 2023. And the budget debate continues. And the Prime Minister lays plans out, but not one brass copper for the biggest port in the family of islands in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But it gets worse. There's a port north of us in Cooperstan that is 3 times the size of the port in Marshaba. And the whopping price of 40 million has been dormant under 4 Prime Minister. Wow. How could this be in a land of educated people? People that went abroad and swore an oath that they will come back to make the Bahamas great again. And all they could think about is how to screw this country, how to rob this country, how to thief. My God. You got to be thieving. Because we ain't had nothing yet from the travel visa. Consecutive government haven't told us how much they made from the travel visas. No doctor complained about COVID-19. Money was raking out. There's absolutely not one single out of 500 pastors in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, out of 500, 250 of them are pastors that could heal the sick, preach demon and pray demon to the people. Neither pastor touched nobody that had COVID-19. All their spiritual healing was put on hold, and after minutes put the poison in our bodies. Boy, I could just go on. But I'm just gonna stop it at the 64 million for consultant fee and not $1 for not a bathroom in Marshall or Green Hill Ferry. That one is hard to swallow, but I shall swallow. But Craig Cornish, that sits in the office of the Prime Minister, did anybody have a discussion on you on what ought to be added or asked for in the budget communication for the people of North Abaco that went through 2 hurricanes? Every time you come to your office, Kirk Cornish, people are still in the trailer. People in Abaco, North Abaco, are still deciding whether to put gas in their car or whether to get something to eat. Then we got John Pinder that traveled all over the world. His passport is all stamped and looking good. A vacation every month all over the world. But did John Pinder ever stop at the Union Jack dock and look towards the east and see the line of boats that are sunken in the harbor of Marshall? Does John Pinder know that there's a boat burned down at the Union Jack dock? Did he ask for $1 to remove these sunken boats? And before they went to the budget communication, did John Pinder ever go at the custom dock, the biggest dock in the family of islands in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? Did John ever walk around there, drive around there? Did John even know that there were buildings with air conditioning and proper fencing before Hurricane Dorian? Did John tap on Brave shoulder and say, "Mr. Prime Minister, sir, we have gone through a storm under the FNM, and we are continually going through a storm at the custom dock because somebody has dropped the ball on rebuilding 180 annual income port, not $1 in the budget for Abaco Port, but you got 64 million to give foreign white people outside the Bahamas to tell the government of the Bahamas what and what not to do, and they ain't got half the brain as the black people in Nassau, Bahamas, that could tell the Bahamas government how to do, when to do, what to do, and say it correctly, and they don't have to pay $64 million. Hallelujah. Kai Case, you're live with Kai on WCAY. 64 million overseas and nothing for the people that went through 2 hurricanes. Not one single house has been built by the FNM government. Carryover, not one single house has been built by the PLP government. But every week we see American white people coming in to still help us to rebuild because they know more of what's going on in Abaco than John Pinder and Kirk Cornish. That is why the relief still continues by the foreign entity while the Bahamas government is sending $64 million overseas and not a dollar for the victims of Hurricane Dorian and Nicole Kai case. That's why he's here.